Good evening, fluffs. I hope you all are doing well. Before this video starts, I'd like to preface with I have quite the jank setup going on. I am currently in my car, a 1990 Miata. It is hot as hell. And I have my laptop next to me and this microphone plugged in. I do apologize if there's any interference or different oddities that may come from this setup. On top of that, I'm also recovering from a cold, so please bear with me. And that said, I hope you are excited for the Q&A. We've had quite a lot of questions, so tuck in nice and cozy, and we'll begin. Starting with, from Kelly Mitrin, how much does your fursona weigh? My fursona is 800 pounds, and this is shown on his reference sheet, which you can find on my Discord or BluSky. They also ask if I have any favorite artists. I'm assuming they mean regular artists. They could mean ASM artists, but in terms of regular artists, I like Fatty Dragonite and Hardishin. They make great pieces over on Furfinity. They have a third and final question. If you had the ability to collab with any other ASM artist, who would it be? I'd have to say Salem Audio. He's a big inspiration of mine, and I love his content, and I fall asleep to his stuff quite often. Continuing on, Blurred Fluff ASMR asks, how long have you been in the furry fandom? And are there any creators that inspired you to start making ASMR? I'd have to say I've been in the furry fandom for about 5 or 6 years now. I think I joined at the end of middle school. Inspiration, I'd have to say Salem Audio and Dark and Twisted Whisper. I love their content quite a lot and listen to it frequently. Also, I enjoyed collaborating with you, Fluff. Thank you for the comment. P3-2X024 asks, when are we getting Immobile and Helpless on the Baker Feeds You series? I don't quite know, although I do plan to continue the installment. That could be in the future. As you know, there are quite a lot of fetus and videos on my channel, and I'll certainly consider it. I do like the idea. Angel HD Zest Moon Hermit asks, if you were to make ASMR videos instead of just audios, what would you like? I.e. VR chat, POV, roleplays, etc. I think I would make VR chat roleplay videos. I do have an Oculus for playing VR chat and VR games and whatnot, though it is currently at my house and not with me, and every time I try to use it, there's always one problem or another that I have to deal with. Though, if I were to get a custom avatar, I think I'd be quite open to doing VR chat roleplays. They also ask, what kind of non-weight gain related ASMRs do you like? Well, I don't tend to listen to weight gain related audios all that much, other than Full Belly Fox. I quite love his stuff. I typically listen to Our roleplay videos, stuff that dotes on the listener. I like to be praised. They also ask, are you currently interested in studying anything at university/college? Yes, I am interested in studying a few things, but as of now, I'm undeclared. I'll let you know if I finally land on something. I hope to soon. Digital arts could be something, but we'll see, we'll see, we'll see. Aeromerp asks, what is your favorite ASMR trigger? I don't think I can point a paw on it, but I think I'd have to say deep voices. They make me all melty. I love it. They also ask, how big do you like to make others when stuffing? Now, I don't typically stuff others apart from my roleplays. I am actually a feedee rather than a feeder, if you can believe it. I am the one that loves to be stuffed. They say, thanks for the wonderful ASMR, Meep. Thank you for leaving the comment. Liquid peppermint. I've got a few questions. How do you get your ideas, whether it's the stuffing or otherwise? Are those audios fun? And how do you stick to the schedule of following through with the ideas, and where does your motivation come from? Well, ideas, whatever's on the top of my head, but there's also a place on my Discord where you can leave ideas if you have something that you'd like to share. Are those audios fun? When it comes to the stuffing ones and all my audios, I have fun with all of them. They're a joy to make, and I'm happy to provide. How do I stick to a schedule / following through with the idea? Well, with college, it's gotten a little more interesting, per se. But whenever there's a quiet time, I'll try and take some time to record, but as of now, it's quite late on Sunday night, and I'm in my car. Not ideal, but it will work for now. And motivation, I'd have to say motivation comes from you guys. As much as it's fun to make these, seeing all your comments and the stuff you send me, it really makes me smile. And I'm more than happy to provide content for you all. Really, thank you. Cosmicality asks, so what sparked your interest in fat for content? Was it a certain artist or animation or something like that? Well, I don't think so, although I really like Full Belly Fox's content. I just wanted more content like this in the ASMR scene, and I didn't see much of it, so I thought I'd provide. Ritzomorph asks, apart from way to game thematic videos, would you try to make different ones with the thematic of it? Example, like inflation, blueberry, slime, etc. While stuff like inflation and slime, I could definitely think of a few ideas of what to do there. I think I'll mostly stick to fat fur content, though I'm certainly not opposed. Just whatever happens to be on my mind the week prior to whatever the video is. Ultracerulia asks, what's your favorite fattening food to binge? I'd have to say either Parmesan chicken or hibachi fried rice. Those are two of my favorites. Scout Gaming 737 asks, how tall are you and your persona? Me personally, I am 6 feet tall, and my persona is 6'2". Taco Guy 7654 asks, do you think you'll get a fursuit in the future? What would you want your Sona to be / look like if you do? I am actually currently saving up for a fursuit, so when I have the money to do so, I will purchase it. If you'd like to see how it will look, you can go to my BluSky or the Discord. My reference is posted there. And once I do get my suit, I would love to make some videos while wearing it. Dreamweb ASMR asks, is your deep voice naturally what you sound like, or do you have to put it on to enhance the seductive tone of your ASMR? Either way, it makes me utterly melt. Well, thank you. I do put on this voice. It is natural, I don't use any machinery, but I do put it on. It isn't hard to put on, and I quite like to do it. But I wouldn't say it's what I normally talk with. Also, I happen to quite like some of your content, Dreamweb. Keep up the good work, and thank you for the comment. Help 721 asks, are you still planning on doing a reverse stuffing ASMR? You mentioned it in one of your previous community posts, and I got excited. Hope you have a wonderful day. Well, I hope you have a wonderful day as well. I do plan on doing one in the future, but it may be quite some time. I'd have to get a solid idea on how I'd do it. I'd probably want to bring in another person and figure out something specific. But we'll see. It's definitely something that's on my mind. Aussie Whisper 2569 asks, so what exactly got you into making feeding ASMR? I don't see a lot of it, so I'm really glad you're making it. Well, I appreciate that. I'd have to say that there's a lack of it within the community, so I thought I'd provide. Brandon Jimmy 3458 asks, thoughts on pickles, and do you play Undertale / Deltarune? I happen to think that pickles are quite gross, but on the Undertale Deltarune front, I used to watch a lot of Undertale. I've never played it myself, although I do have the game. And for Deltarune, I have the first couple chapters downloaded, and I've tried my best to keep away from spoilers, because I do plan to play it. Kindle Wolfie asks, or says rather, before I ask, I just wanted to say, it's so awesome to find a furry ASMRist who's into belly stuffing. Your voice is incredible, and I love the videos that you come up with. So I wanted to ask you, are you into belly buttons as well as tummies? And how did you get into ASMR in the furry community? Well, I suppose I am into belly buttons as well as tummies. Can always appreciate a good navel, in my opinion. And how did I get into the ASMR in the furry community? Well, I listened to ASMR for a long time, probably around 4 years now, and I was inspired to do it. And I've been in the furry fandom for quite some time, so why not combine the two, as well as fetism? Carter Ordan asks, or rather says, hi, refound your stuff recently, and I'm so happy I have. Your ASMR stuff is amazing, and I'm so glad that you indulge in the feederism itch I never knew I had. Well, it is much appreciated. Now for the questions. How much does your real life influence your ASMR? A.e., are you a feeder, a feedee? If you're a feeder, I'd like to make an application. A baker, Penducon, etc., etc. If this isn't too personal, what is another kink you would like to produce in ASMR form? I would say my real life influences my ASMR to some degree. While I am not a feeder, I am a feedee. I'm not a baker, but I have been to a con. FWA 2025. It was life-changing. Another kink that I like to produce in ASMR form. Well, I wouldn't typically describe the stuff that I make as kinky, although, let's face it here, it is. I don't quite know, to be honest. Maybe just heavy praise, but other than that, I'd have to think on it for a while. Moss Fossil asks, or rather says, I adore audios that include sound effects, so do you think you'll ever do one with eating sound effects or something like that? I may, probably not eating sound effects though. More stuff like background stuff, things that will immerse the listener, and gulps for some stuffing audios. Matt Ira asks, what's the creative process behind the ASMR? Do they just come as ideas, or do they have planning behind them? I'd say more in the idea realm. Whatever idea comes to mind, or, as I mentioned, you can put your ideas in the Discord, and I get a general basis from the idea and go from there. XOXO Nebula asks, what's your love language? Also, hope you're doing well, Ravor. Well, thank you. Love language. That's a hard one. I'm not actually quite sure. But I think communication, really. As long as I'm hanging out, having a good time with whoever it is, I'm happy. Following that last question, I'm afraid we'll have to end it here for now. Unfortunately, my laptop died after the last question, and I had to go back up to my dorm and charge it for a little bit. I believe I got around halfway through the questions. So, if this video does well, and you guys like me rambling about your various questions and topics, then we can consider a two-parter, if that's something you'd like. But, alas, I have to say goodnight for now, because I've already recorded this 2 other times, and it's getting very late, and I'm very